Hi friends and welcome back. So the Swedish sentence is don't buy this crap. And that is in Swedish, köp inte denna skit. Köp inte denna skit. Köp inte denna skit. Today we're gonna talk about the worst of 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 the worst makeup product I tried 2019. I know this video is coming a bit late, but it's just been the holidays. It's been a lot in my life that you don't really see here on YouTube. So I'm so sorry about that, but it is what it is. Better late than never. So I do want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. Some of these products I know that a lot of people love. I don't. And that's okay. But that was actually not what I wanted to say. But what I wanted to say is that I feel like makeup has gotten so much better. So I don't have a ton of products to talk about. I have some, but not too many. And I want to say that I feel like makeup has become so much better. So it's hard to find these like really crappy products. So a lot of these, they were very crappy, but maybe some of you guys can get them to work, because they were not my preference. Also, I'm a little bit disappointed with myself because I forgot to mention so many products in my best of 2019. I forgot to mention my ColourPop gel liners that you guys know I love. I don't know why I did that, maybe because I'm stupid, but yeah, let's continue with the first product. So the first product is actually a foundation. So I started out 2019 with a lot of foundation videos. I wanted to try a lot of different foundations and do like reviews and such like that. And I found the worst of the worst of the worst. And this is a foundation that I have wanted to try for the longest time. This foundation literally broke my heart because so many people had raved about this foundation. And then I had a friend who lives in the US. She was sending me a package and she asked me if I wanted something that I couldn't get in Sweden. And I was like, yeah, this foundation, and she bought it for me. Well, I paid her. I think I paid her. Yeah, I PayPal'd her money and I got it. It sucked. So let's just reveal what foundation it was. It was the Burt's Bees foundation. I'll have a picture on it right here. I have a video on it. I can link it down below. It is crappy, and I had actually tried this foundation a couple of times off camera before, and I tried it a couple of times after, and it just did not collaborate with my skin whatsoever. Oh my god, I just went back to look at the footage. It looks absolutely horrible. This foundation does not collaborate with my skin whatsoever, which is so strange because so many people loves this foundation, but then so many of you guys said that this foundation worked or acted like it did on my skin, on your skin as well. So it was kind of splotchy, and it was, you kind of have to look at the footage to see because I do close-ups, and I don't know what it was. I have no idea what it was, but it wasn't the primer. I don't think it was my moisturizer because I used a bunch of different ones to see what the foundation reacted to, but that just didn't work for me. It's absolutely the worst foundation I've ever tried. So good job, Burt's Bees. Obviously, I don't have all of these products in my collection because they were so bad that I have already decluttered them. So this is also one, the Sugarpill liquid lipstick from the Tea collection. It came out sometime in 2019, and I thought that it was a good collection. It was definitely like my kinds of shades, and I bought the shade Duchess, I think it was. And that, as soon as I got it, I wanted to hurl. It smelled so disgusting. I absolutely hated the smell. I don't even remember what the formula was. I only remember how the smell was. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes makeup smells, and that's okay sometimes, depending on what they smell like. I love my CC cream from It Cosmetics, and that smells a lot. I like the Catrice liquid camouflage concealer that I'm wearing on my skin today. That one smells, but this one was on a whole nother level. So when I put it on, I wanted to throw up. Like so many times I wanted to throw up because it was just this sweet, disgusting scent that never went away. And I thought to myself, Paulina, let's be real here. you're gonna get over this, but I didn't. I used it twice, and the only thing I could think of when I was having it on my lips was that I wanted to dye and that I wanted to hurl. So I decluttered it. I heard also that all of the Sugarpill liquid lipsticks smells like that, so I haven't. Wanted to try another one, but let me know if the other one smells very bad as well, or if it was just the tea collection. We're gonna hop into an eyeshadow palette, and this is an eyeshadow palette that I don't know what it is. Like every single year I do a bad review for a makeup product and people get mad at me. So last year it was Nabla. This year it was the Makeup Revolution and Tammi palette, and people to this day, the day that I'm filming this, gets mad at me. And people get mad at me and say that I don't know how to do eyeshadow, or no, it wasn't that bad because I got a beautiful look out of it. And I agree, I got a beautiful, beautiful look out of it. But it was so much work with it. So if we just back up a little bit, Makeup Revolution for me is a brand that I absolutely love. I love the brand. I think that the brand has some amazing products, but at the same time, they have some really crappy products because they are like ColourPop. They mass produce and they do so many different products, and they come out with so much that it's impossible to keep up. And I feel like the quality is kind of lacking as of that, or that's why it's kind of lacking. Not saying that it does that on ColourPop side, I'm just saying that the Makeup Revolution side is like that, at least according to me. And when I got the Makeup Revolution and Tammi palette, I was so excited, but I have never followed Tammi, so I don't know. It wasn't like a personal thing against her, but what I had a problem was with the palette was that the shadow kind of blended themselves into each other, and I don't mean that in like a good way. I mean that they kind of muddied up together, and they were also very dry. I felt like I had to go back in, and the worst thing was the shimmers. So it is a palette that I just didn't vibe with. And I don't know if you watched that video, I can link that down below as well, but when I recorded that look, I actually put one of my, let me see if I can find it. So I put down 2 shimmer shades or 1 shimmer shade, I can't remember, but then I took this shade on top of it. So this is from H&M, and this is There You Had Me at Hollow. If we just swatch it, how am I at swatching? Here. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I definitely recommend you guys to go ahead and check out your local H&M and buy some of their makeup because they have some amazing products actually. But yeah, this is what it looks like in a way, and it just kind of transformed the shades and it made it look so beautiful. But what I found is that the shimmers they were sort of like satins and like what you expect really super affordable crappy eyeshadow palettes to be, or that sort of formula. They weren't blinding, they weren't anything special, and they were just bull. They were not my taste at all, and I, for that reason, did not like it. I had the Covergirl highlight. I'll show it on the screen right here. I used it in a video. It was this from like a peach collection. I think I still have the blush actually. I'll show you that. Here's the blush. This is my favorite from that collection. I got this from one of you guys as well. This has a beautiful peachy scent. I love this. It smells like a candy. I'll have it on the screen. Oh, I love that candy. Or I think it's okay. I don't love it. But the highlight was a very light highlight, but it had glitters in it, and as soon as you applied it, all of the glitters fell out and all over your face. I don't want it to be all over my face. I get dirty thoughts in my head right now. That was the biggest reason why I just didn't like it. They should have just not went in with the glitter, but they did, and therefore I dislike it. The worst of the worst. The worst of the worst is from Revolution Skincare, and I'm not saying that this is a bad product because I actually love this product, it just doesn't work for my skin, and that is their Gold Elixir. This contains rosehip oil, and I raved and raved about this oil, and I was like, oh my god, it's the best, and I loved it. It was so nice on my skin, but what ended up happening was that I didn't really know why. I got these big I had to look up the word. I got these big boils on my skin. I don't know if that's the correct word, But you know, these super large irritated pimples that never really broke out to be like a whitehead, they were just big, you couldn't press on them, you couldn't get any juice out, so to speak. They were just big boils all over my skin, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was until my friend Anna told me that some people actually react pretty bad to rosehip oil, so that might be it, and I stopped using it and they went away. So now I avoid rosehip oil as it was the plague. I really wanted to try this Weva foundation, but I saw that it was infused with rosehip oil, and I was like, okay, bye. Stila Stale Day Waterproof Brow is the worst product that you can ever find. It's horrible. I bought the shade medium. I really love the one that I had from Kat Von D, but I don't purchase from Kat Von D anymore. So it's like a tattoo sort of thing. It has a super fine flick, sort of like a NYX eyeliner, you know, the one that everyone is raving about, or the Kat Von D eyeliner. But you could just paint it on like that and it would kind of show up like brush hairs, or like brow hairs, I mean. The Stila one, horrible. It was sort of like it had dried up before I got it, and I actually googled the product. I YouTubed it and I saw that other people had the same issue that I have. So I was like, okay, it's not old, it's just the way the product is. I didn't want to contact Beautybay, ask them to send me a new one because I didn't want a new one. I was like, you know what, it was just a crap product. I'm gonna not even bother contacting them because that's not on them. Makeup Revolution's powders. I was so excited to try them and they just didn't work for me, and I, to be honest, feel like they didn't really work for anyone. I'll have the picture on them right here because I don't remember the name, but I think that they actually contain hyaluronic acid, but I'm not too sure about that. Maybe it's just something that I've gotten in my head, not really sure. But whatever it was, they just didn't work. So if you're new to my channel, hi! You guys know that I only set under my eyes. I set a little bit on my nose and around my T-zone nowadays. Sometimes this week I've actually set my entire face except for like this highlighty area and this area. Nonetheless, what I wanted to say is that the powder, when you used it with a sponge and if you applied it under your eyes, it would just go on super patchy. So I thought that, okay, some powders doesn't react well when you try and add in water, like your sponge is having water in it. So I tried it with a brush, but it ended up looking like I was 1,000 years old, you know, the crocodile skin that you can get under your eyes. And then again, super patchy. It doesn't really matter what you do. The container leaks, so I had to tape it. It still leaked. It's just a crappy product, and if they had tried out that product, they would have known. Especially if they tried out the packaging, they would have known. But no, they stuck with it, and that's a shame. Rude Cosmetics liquid eyeshadow. I had the pink shade. I don't remember what the name was. I have a video on that as well. I can link all of the videos that I mentioned down below just so you can kind of easily access them if you wanted to go ahead and go down memory lane. Whatever. Liquid eyeshadows has been so much fun for me this year, and I bought so many, and I feel like I have a pretty big collection, but I have some that I love and they're great. That one, however, wasn't. As soon as you applied it, it started to crumble on your face, or, you know, on your eyes. And as you can see, if you look at me, I have hooded eyes, and I have like these, you know, like everyone that has hooded eyes, like these flappity flop things. And of course we need something that is gonna be crease proof, because we don't look like this where we don't have a single wrinkle in our eyes. So we need something to be a little bit more crease proof, and that was not it. It didn't matter if I tried to make it dry, it just crumbled all over my face. And I can't say that it was the same with the other shades, but that one, I'm so sorry, but most of these products that I'm talking about, I don't have. Next up is the Milani liquid lipstick in the shade Amore. I don't know if it was all of their liquid lipsticks. I have no freaking idea, but when I placed an order at a website, I got this liquid lipstick for free. Maybe it was old, who the fuck knows, not me. But what I will say is that when I applied it to my face, to my lips I mean, it just crumbled. I don't know what it is with these products. Like, don't they test them out? Do you want something that crumbles, gets all over your teeth, and then you're gonna smile and be like, hey, or you're gonna have stuff all over your teeth? Like, no thank you. So I tried out Beautybay this year. I don't remember if it was this year that they started doing makeup or if it was 2018. Maybe it was late 2018, by the way. Nonetheless, the brand hasn't really intrigued me that much, to be completely honest. I mean, yes, they have some cute palettes and whatnot, but I don't know. I haven't really been that into the brand. I haven't really been that excited about the brand, except for these. I actually got these in PR.
So I got them in PR, and that's why I'm excited about them.
No, I'm just kidding. But liquid eyeshadows, when I saw that they were coming out with them, I was going to purchase them until I got them, and I was like, oh my god. I was so excited. I was so excited. But I tried out their Highlander palette, and I tried out the one that was called Ethereal. That one, a mess. It was sort of like it had this squishy formula, but it wasn't really squishy, and it wasn't like the ColourPop formula where you can get product up and it's super blinding and whatnot, and it's like creamy. It was sort of like a ColourPop formula that dried down and was just kind of stiff. And then when you tried to get something up, it would just kind of crumble and then kind of just get even more compact, so that you would only get a little bit on your finger, and when you tried to apply it, it just kind of removed your foundation. That is how I would describe their highlighter palette, so that was a no-go for me. This is one of the products that I kept that I didn't like, or it's the only product that I kept that I didn't like. We'll see how this video plays out. But this is the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. And do you know that I lusted over this palette so much? And now, when I go to look at it, they have upped the price. Kind of a lot, actually. I think that I paid like 450 Swedish crowns, and I think it's up to 620 Swedish crowns now. Shame on you, Sephora. This is as much as half of a big palette. I have told you guys for the longest time that there was something wrong with my palette, so I contacted Sephora. Just gonna be clear here, it was these two shades that I had a problem with, and it was the mattes. And I feel like when I paid that much money for 5 shades, they are supposed to work. So I contacted them, I sent them photos, and they were like, oh, it's not supposed to look like that. We're gonna give you your money back. And I was like, okay, thank you. So if you see here, you can see that they have sort of gotten hard pan. I don't know if my camera is focusing that well. Hopefully you can see anyway. Now, when I watched more videos, I've realized that no, it's not something wrong with my palette. This is the formula that she picked. So this is her cream to powder formula. I mean, you can see that I still get some product, but the problem is that when you try and apply them, the shadows are so hard to use. And I have the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I know how her cream to powder formula is when it works, and this, honey, is not it. The reason I kept it is because I love the shimmers. They are incredible. And do you know that she had the nerve, look at this, she had the nerve to come out with this palette again, but without this crappy formula. She came out with it with a powder formula. So she hooed at us. That didn't work. She hooed at us. She did a hooda on us. She played us. I did not enjoy that, and I thought that that was a sneaky move, but Natasha, I have forgiven you. Makeup Obsession is my next target. I had never tried Makeup Obsessions before, and I saw a palette coming out, and I was like, ooh, this is the best dupe that's not a like complete rip-off of the Jeffree Star Sweet Talk palette. What is it called? Sugar palette? Fuck. Sugar Crush? I have a brain freeze. Anyway, if you're known to me, you guys know I don't support Jeffree Star. So when that palette came out from Makeup Obsession, I was like, done, deal, It's super affordable. Give it to me. I purchased it. I did a little Instagram video with it. I would go ahead and pop it in right here, but I lost all of the footage that I had. So you can go ahead and get it on my Instagram, but there's a lot of footage that's just gone. The palette, when I recorded just an Instagram video, I had to, because when I tried to build up the mats, it didn't work. So I had to get a base. Let's say for instance that we were using this shadow. I had to go in with a base, and then I had to go in with a little bit of concealer so that the base was wet, and then add on even more so that I could build up the colors. Because if I didn't do that, I got like zero pigment. I don't think that the shimmers were too bad, but the mattes was a no-go. So I used it once and then I was, don't want to use you again. I have listed a primer, but I'm not too sure if I would put it into this video and say that it's one of the worst of the worst. I go back and forth. I like it, but I hate it. I like it and I hate it. So I'm just gonna share it with you guys, take it as it is, but I don't feel like this is one of the worst products I've ever tried, because it's not. It's just, I have a hard time using it and I don't know what it is. So this is the Milk Hydra Grip Primer. Milk, 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 what have you done? This is a fantastic primer and I put it on my face. It's tacky, so I feel like everything is just gonna stick to my face. But it doesn't fade beautifully. So if you're known to my channel, you guys know I'm a sweaty person and I need something to fade on me gracefully. I need my base to look somewhat good, even though some parts of my makeup might fade. With this primer, it does not. And I know that some of you guys that's maybe not as sweaty as me has the same problem, that it leaves dry patches, and that I don't know what it is, but it kind of makes my skin after a few hours look like I have applied the Burt's Bees foundation that I talked about in the beginning of the video. It just leaves my skin looking like patchy, and then I have like orange patches all over my face. Not all over my face, it's mostly around my chin area. So there's something there that makes it not really react well to my skin, so I don't really know what it is. But I would love to hear from you guys what you think is the worst product that you tried 2019. It doesn't have to have released 2019, but I want to hear from you guys what's the worst product that you have tried. Let me know down below, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, give it a thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe, and just remember, makeup isn't that deep, it's just makeup. Bye!